Yes, welcome to you finished texting there, Henry, buddies. Welcome to Keep the Ball on the Ground. Just the three of us today.
I know.
Back to the old days.
Missing Andy. But supposedly he's been seen at Glasgow Airport with a snooker queue, waiting on Duffy. So
no, he's speaking to a club.
Is he?
Sanctuary, he's going to do the break at Saturday night. He's chatted for Jim Duffy's boy, isn't he?
Aye, but he keeps telling us every week he's talking with a club, that's why he can't make it. He's got no fucking club in the pipeline, has he? Let's be honest about it. He's got the biggest offer in the fucking TV industry in open goal.
We'll have made him a good offer.
Aye, why doesn't he stay on open goal? Maybe do a wee bit of TV, radio, and then get a club here. I think that's the perfect.
Do you know what? Your analogy last week proved right. Because he went over the overweight one a job, he couldn't wait to take it, but...
Nah, seriously, do you appreciate it a bit more?
Sometimes.
No, listen, just before, I want to apologise to you last week, big man.
Hey.
I was over talking him, wasn't I?
You were
shocking.
You were like Frank McAvenny with Derek Ferguson.
I was like that.
No, to be fair, Slaney, I don't mind that at all because
I get overexcited.
See when John Higgins comes on the show, and you've been a big snooker fan and that. If it was the big show coming on for the WWE, I'd get excited. I wouldn't let you speak 1 minute. So
you and Higgins hit it off it.
I know.
Dinner after it, mate.
John liked me, didn't he?
He didn't get a word in, mate.
I think he was wondering if I could look after him when he goes away in the trips, maybe be his bounce on that.
Perfect, the high vis on. What about what you said off camera for his favourite 147 of all time?
What?
Craig Gordon's on PlayStation.
Gordon's,
That's right, aye.
Peter Ebdon was there, I know.
Horny man.
Oh, aye.
Go on.
Lynn Kyle, Dane Cushions.
The goalie.
How good is that, by the way?
She did him with the gloves on?
She does him with the gloves on, aye.
Oh, honestly, absolutely magic for her.
I know. Just check her out on Instagram, may as well plug her.
Me to say, we found out who's on the... Remember, we were talking about Gavin Strachan's earpiece, weren't we?
Alright, aye. Did you find out who's in the end of it?
Aye.
I found it.
Who?
Paul Tim. Singing Celtic songs in his ear.
Is that what you had?
But he's had an injury, hasn't he? Paul Tim farted in it and he burst his eardrum.
That would be some fucking fart, by the way.
Who else have heard it's on the other end? Lenny Snoostealer.
I didn't know, but I heard Danny McGrain. No, seriously, I don't like saying that, but supposedly it was just chicken noises coming through it. And then there's another one. I'm not sure. I don't like to lie, size, you know. And Kev, but I heard Peter Ebdon was another sign. And he kept saying I'm getting worked up. I'm getting all worked up.
Oh, Tony Ebdon, man.
Mate, do you think...
How good is it? Like, that's what we are bringing the nation, mate. Everyone now knows how horny he is.
Mate, but I actually was thinking, and I was talking to Higgins, he dropped me off, Higgins, and I was talking about him. We were actually thinking, horniness could actually now be more serious than what we first thought. I looked through the Scottish game, Simon and Kevin, and you look at
horny people.
I look at people and I can start to sense it.
Where can you see it in the eyes?
Their eyes, the way they move, the lack of Dane hangs in it, chipper. I think he could be up there as a horny serial horny.
Seeing you say eyes, what about the bus driver?
No, I don't know.
Nah, I don't think he's horny.
I think he's the other
opposite.
Aye.
But if you know me, does like the gear stick a lot, but I don't know where that's. I love that one. So you done? Here, I've got to say to you. Did you ever play Code when you were boys?
Code?
Nah, what is it?
Two teams in another team. You get a... No, fuck it. It's not even a joke. No, fuck it. Move on.
No, tell us.
No, it was two teams and one team... You might have called it a different name. One team chase and the other team's got a code, a letter each.
Right.
And it's a name and you need to batter each.
To get the letter out of them?
Did you play that? But wasn't it code?
Kinda, sorta.
Sorry, I just wanted to ask you that, sorry.
I've never played that
No.
one.
Did you play Soggy Biscuit?
What was that again?
Right. You called Stephen Hendry a flash in the pan.
Yeah.
He's came out of retirement the next day, mate.
Yeah.
It's amazing how much you're in these big names' heads.
Well, again, me and Higgins phoned him.
On the cat in the morning?
Genuinely, this is a true story. We phoned Hendry and we said to him, listen, Higgins said, listen, Slaney's caught you a flash in the pan. And his reply was, we'll see about that. So...
It's a shite reply, wasn't it? To Hendry.
But I think that's... It was all...
The measure of the man,
Aye, and then I think I knew... you've seen what he's going to do. But what I'm going to say here live right now, 12 feet by 12 feet snooker table. Is that the real size of snooker table? Is it not?
That's some square.
It's a rectangle snooker table, you daft bastard. 12 by 12.
Maybe 12 before.
I want, and I'm going to call him out right now, me against Stephen Hendry. A snooker match. But listen, he would beat me right side in a full game. But why not just a black ball game? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Fancy yourself.
A one ball game.
Aye.
We need to get a table for it. We need to keep it good for until you play them, so it's untouched.
Untouched.
You know anything that we could cover the table with? Yeah, talking of flash in the pan, mate. What the fuck was that you done in there?
I know.
What was that?
Flash in the pan. What was that you done in that toilet before the show, man?
Mate, honestly, I pebble dashed it. Sitting in that taxi on mom, I just had to go and just let
You could be the big ref.
Big red.
The big football
The big
casual.
football casual.
Aye. I'll do
Fancy that?
Yep. Not a
This
problem.
will be unbelievable.
Right.
eh?
Where are we going? We need to hold it in like a proper Neddy snooker.
Aye, we need to
venue.
get him out his comfort zone.
Aye. Red triangle up in Cumbernauld.
Wow.
What's that, like a den?
Rough as fuck.
Is it a den, is
Aye.
it?
Don't know, I've never been in, but I'm just putting it out there, it's rough as fuck.
Right, there we go then.
I think he'll struggle.
Would you get in his head? Do you think you'd get in his head?
Aye, because I would whisper into his ear size I love today.
Right. We'll continue with the laughing and joking. Scotland's performances versus Israel and Czech Republic. Kevin Kyle, you can go first. Talk me through. First, we'll talk about Israel.
So, you know what, I would love to talk about Israel, right, but I'm going to be honest, my good friend invited me into his house to watch that game. And the conversation with my mate was quite good, right? But it was that good that we didn't even watch the fucking Scotland game because there was nothing happening. Davy Provan and Ian Crocker didn't raise their voices once that we made us turn our head to look at the TV. So I can't really fucking comment on the Israel game. Obviously watched the highlights afterwards. Just flat, Si. Everyone's just flat. I know that the big debate was Andy Roberts and Kieran Tierney. How do we fit both them in? So he went for a 3-5-2, put Robbo on the left and put Kieran on the left side of a back three. Did it work? I don't know.
No,
I think the problem we've got, Si, is as well as I thought, and I've been critical of Lyndon Dykes, as well as I thought he did with what he had to do.
But is that what doing well is now? Just
No, but that's what I mean. But what
yeah.
I'm saying is, I wasn't any wow factor. You're not thinking, oh fucking hell, we've got a striker going forward, because we don't. That's the problem. We don't have a lot of options going forward. So when we've got as many good options as we have in midfield, we can't seem to get these killer passes or killer set-up plays that cut teams up, and we have chance after chance. We're like that team that hope to get a chance, and then we hope to stop the ball being like put in behind us. Things that we're kind of like that team that just now, for me, we kind of hope. We hope we get a result, or we hope we don't concede, or I can't figure out what it is that we're trying to achieve. I don't want to be critical of Scotland too much, Si, because I've been in one of these Scotland teams where it's not been great, and we don't have an array of players to pick from where we can go and beat other international teams quite comfortable. We do have good individual players, but for some reason we can't get them playing as a team, and we need to start. Like I think Steve Clarke said yesterday or a few days ago that he had a good week with his boys and he was looking forward to the Czech Republic game. I don't know what they did in that week, because that was just as bad last night as it was in.
Can I say something though? How can Steve Clarke's been in a job 10 months now, right? He doesn't know his best team.
No.
Yeah, or his
I
best.
spoke to Michael O'Neill. See when I interviewed Michael O'Neill, mate, he's top.
Yeah.
See when he talked about Northern Ireland, and he actually said this. He said, see if you look at the amount of caps that people have got for Scotland, but there's nobody on 50 or 60 caps.
No.
He says, see me, I get my 11 and I play them friendlies and competitive games. It's that 11. There's a 16-man squad. I know 16 guys that can play, but I've got my 11 and they play every game. It's the only way to get better. We're now 10 months down the line. We've plucked a formation from nowhere, which it baffles me. The 3-4.
No.
I think it was a 3-4-3 with Christie and McGinn. Christie's a centre midfielder, McGinn's a centre midfielder. Why are they playing left and right?
Yeah. He's
And
lost.
that's what I'm saying. I just didn't see I didn't see a style of play. I didn't see what Scotland are about on the ball.
Like, we've got good wingers. Like, if you look at wee Jamesy for us,
He's playing right back,
I know,
in a
that's
five.
what I mean. And we've got like good midfielders. Surely that should be enough to get the back four or back three, whatever it is, set up in the formation that we play to our strings. I think last night's goal, the one against Czech Republic, it went from one side to the other, over, bit of movement, good ball in, goal. There wasn't enough of that side. There's not enough movement. It's as if like there's no, like Robbo's the captain, and he's the captain because of what he's done at Liverpool, winning the league, winning the the European Cup and stuff. But Robbo is not going to win you a game being a left back playing left.
But I thought he was better last night because Christie went and actually played off Dykes and he gave Andy Robertson room down the left. Whereas against Israel, Christie was just 5 yards in front of him every time he got the ball.
I just, like you say, Si, I think I'm going to agree with you wholeheartedly that we don't know our best 11 or best 16. We don't know our best formation. And it's like every game we go and play in international matches, we're trying a different system to try and suit different needs and understand that people pull out of squads. But he just needs to stick to we're a 4-4-2 or we're a 4-4-1-1, whatever it is, and this is what we're going to play all the time. And if you don't fit into that, try harder to fit into that and make it that you want to be in that 11. Because at this minute in time, I think he changed six bodies last night, six bodies last night. That can't happen because we need to win the Nations League to give ourselves a chance because we're not going to get there any other way.
He's a lost boy into a man's world. Or a women's world.
Either way, yeah.
He totally is.
What did you think? We'll talk about Israel first. What did you think of the game?
I actually thought Scotland were all over the place. Now this is what I can't believe, right? And I cannot believe this. We knew when Steve Clarke was coming to Scotland, he was going to be
a defensive
manager, right? And you take that because he was good at it, organised. He's not even that in Scotland. He looks absolutely miles off it.
That's another. He's never played that formation at any club he's been at.
I think he's lost sight. I really do. The players at Scotland at the moment should be on the front foot. They've got full energy. They should be on the front foot, and he's. Should he go?
Do you think Steve Clarke's did what Lenny did the other week? You know when Lenny played no strikers up front, and then he kept the same formation with no strikers up on the Saturday, just to prove a point that he could win a game without a striker.
I think he wants to go with this formation, Kev.
Do you think that Steve Clarke has put the 3-4-1-1 or 3-5, whatever it was, formation to suit Kieran Tierney and
Tierney, I like that.
Kieran Tierney and Andy Robertson? So because he dropped one and he kept that 3-5 kind of 1-1 just to show that this is the formation I'm going to go with, I don't know.
But see, if you're a defensive manager like Steve Clarke, and you want to be solid at the back, why are you playing Scott McTominay at centre half? He can't play centre half. He's not got the brain to play centre half.
That to me.
Goal last night, he gets done with the ball inside him.
Yep.
The night before, ball's over his head. He's not opening his body up like a defender should. Liam Cooper played 38 games for Leeds that won the league last year. Captain. Just play him at centre half.
I know.
John McGinn was one of the best players in the English Premier League last year in centre midfield. Just play him centre midfield. You know yourself, there's nothing worse than playing out of position.
Where are you going to play?
I did obviously with Barry Ferguson, and we had no argument, but he says that formation shouldn't have mattered. But formations, I think football now is a formation game. You look at Arteta, how much he's improved Arsenal due to formations, and I just think put your best players in their best position.
Formations can adapt during the game. See, like if you're 1-0 up like Scotland, like one against Israel, you could maybe change the formation during the game to hold on to that 1-0 and just see it over the line. But to keep changing it all the time before games and stuff, and just to suit certain, to me sometimes it looks like he's trying to change the formation to suit players. When just say, right, okay, we might have the two best left backs, the two best players at the same position, but only one can play. That's just how it is. One gets dropped, then so be it. I'd love to see both of them play. I think Andy Robertson can do the attacking left side. But not to play Tierney last night, I thought was a bit of a strange one because
I think maybe he's been injured in that.
He obviously maybe needed a rest. But McTominay is a midfielder who thinks like a midfielder. So when he's playing centre half, when we're attacking, he's not thinking about picking up the striker that's maybe thinking about going in behind them, because too many times last night when we broke down, they were quick passing over top and we were caught all the time, and that's because he's not a defensive minded person, he's a centre midfielder. So it's a tough one, Si, because we don't have a lot of bodies to come in, Slaney.
Would you drink Stratton?
Why? See what Gordon Strachan, mate. I could see exactly what Gordon Strachan was trying to do. I could see his setup. I could see what they were trying to do when they had the ball. When I watch Scotland, I don't know what the game plan is.
Yeah, I know Stratton didn't. I don't know if he had 2 qualifications to get through, but I've heard so many people, players that played under him, and I was desperate to ask you today, saying that they thought he was the best about for Scotland.
Yeah.
Do you think that as well?
100%.
When you work with him?
Yeah, 100%. He's like I say, mate. Like it's no rocket science with Gordon Strachan. It's simple, mate. He plays players in their positions. he goes with a setup. It's his belief. It's not what other people think he should be doing. He goes with the formation that he likes, the players that he likes. And I think if you look back, I think Gordon Strachan was getting somewhere with Scotland.
Well, I've spoke to a few of the players, and they said that they thought, and this was players who have worked with really good managers. They said Strachan was up their way, and you'll get the critiques, if you like, side coming out and saying, well, he failed in 2 qualifications, but it's certainly not working, is it? No.
What about last night? I mean, Czech got 11 guys at the boozer to come and play us. I didn't think we looked any better.
I think that was the equivalent. See if that happened the other way about. I think that would have been the famous 10 I called it. Remember my worst 10 I called it? I think that would have been the equivalent of the standard. Do you remember that 10?
Aye.
Like totally know that. I think that would have been a similar standard. We Czech boys. And to be honest, Scotland were hanging on at the end.
Yeah.
They hit the post. They hit the, I don't know, they had a few
Marsh had a couple of good saves.
They're probably 2 big, but like you said, Dykes has done alright and David Marshall's been brilliant.
Marshall's been great, and Dykes, to be fair to Dykes, for what he had to do in terms of a couple of decent knockdowns, holding the ball up and laying it off, he did that very well. And as for the goal, he's took a gamble, which all strikers should be doing, just running between the 2 defenders and got I don't know whether it was a fortuitous touch or whatever, but it helped by going into the roof of the net. So really, you can't really say that he was out his depth, no, because what the opposition we were up against wasn't great. But what he had to do and what was asked of him, I thought he did very well, so we can't really complain. Who's going to come in and... I mean, I'm looking at that there last night, right, and I'm actually thinking, Stephen Fletcher could still do a job for Scotland
don't get me started, please.
Like, I don't care 100%. What anybody says, right, any fucking fans who have their own opinion of Stephen Fletcher can still do a job for Scotland. 100%. The way we are right now in world football, he can still do a job for Scotland.
But see, when you see like the service that Dykes get, you can see why McBurney struggles playing for Scotland.
Yeah.
Because what do you get? What do you get to play off in?
Yeah, exactly. Kev, I just wanted to ask you quickly, are you seeing similar signs to when you were at Scotland with this team?
The thing with my team, when I got in the Scotland squad, was we had 2 guys that come in Bertie Vogts and obviously Bournemouth, who didn't know the history of Scotland, what I would say, like the history of players that were available to them. So they had to go out and see, right, let's find out where every Scottish young player is, all our under 21 players, ones that he got Scottish grannies, Scottish aunties, uncles, whatever it is, sisters. Let's find out and get them all. We had a big trial game staying, maybe 30 bodies.
Right. And
he picked his first squad out of that trial game. But at the same time, we had a lot of Davy Weir's, Don Hutchinson's, Scott Gamels, Colin Cameron's, Stuart McCall's. Coming to the end of their international career. So you had to bring in like a new batch but try and mix the old with the new. Whereas I think he's actually got a really good bunch of youngish players from the age of 22 up to about 28. How many 29, 30-year-olds have got on the team?
What, of Scotland?
Of Scotland. Back to my fucking roots.
Back to the country, back to the city that you love.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yes. If it wasn't for me, Willie, where would we be again? I'd be still in Amsterdam, buying salmon.
Forgot what I was going to say. That's the best joke ever, I know.
Oh, brilliant. Right, I'm going to ask you to pick your Scotland 11.
Oh, God.
I know, but come on.
Go for it.
Go for it. What formation are you playing?
I'm going to play 4-3-3.
Right.
But what we said there about McBurney up top, you've got to get players supporting them. But I'll go with the team. Marshall and goals. I don't think, to be fair, is McGregor still... Is he still an international player? Is he retired?
See if the question's not
correct side, unbelievable point. Yeah. So what I would say is I'll go Marshall. Here's what I'm going to see this one, and he might look your nose down at me. Right back, Ryan Jack. There you go. I played against Jackal when I was growing up. Schooled him a few times. Didn't bother me. 2 centre halves. I would go with LC, Liam Cooper. Played with him at Scotland as well. We came through it.
LC, did you, right?
I actually integrated into the squad.
I like him, mate. I think Cooper's good.
Very good captain of Leeds. Other centre half, Simon, I would go with Kieran Tierney. Left back, Andy Robertson. 3 in the middle. This is my problem. I would go with McGinn and Armstrong right.
Yeah.
Like a Liverpool. Wijnaldum and...
Wijnaldum?
That's what the baby call me.
Oh, in the right, okay.
Listen, use a wee bit of lack experience there.
Aye.
With Wijnaldum and whoever Liverpool, doesn't matter. With they 2, McGinn and Armstrong. Now this is my problem. McGregor or Gilmour.
Oh.
And I love Billy. I do. Mm-hmm. I really do love Billy. So it would either be they 2. That's
as a sitter?
Aye.
Yeah.
Just to get on it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So pop it about. And 3 up front. Double F, Forrest and Fraser.
Wow.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, my favourite double F, but... And Simon, I would probably say up front, I would go with McBurney, but if Fletcher was an option, then I'd certainly be looking at him, but I would go with McBurney. A brilliant lad. And listen, you don't get put into Scotland because you're a brilliant lad, but if you're playing the Premier League and you get slaughtered, when you get slaughtered week in, week out for different people, it's very hard to come back for that, and he rises above it all the time. So I think he's got the ability and the mental strength to be at the top for Scotland. So that would be my team. And as I said, Ryan Jack right back, you didn't really seem too happy with that, Simon, but as I said, I did school him a few times right back, but I'm not going to get into all that.
Right, the man with his favourite double Fs, what's your team?
I quite like that team today.
Yeah.
Aye. I don't obviously the Ryan Jack.
May
thing.
McKenna?
No, I wouldn't, no.
Nah.
Does he want the ball? Does he? Does he want the
Should
ball?
centre halves want the ball?
No?
Right, what's yours?
I'd rather have fucking Boogie in there.
Yes, sir! I can boogie!
Imagine just calling him up.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
Amazing,
that.
eh? Mate, he's a fucking legend, isn't he?
He is a
I'm going
legend.
to get him on it.
He is. He's going to. Hopefully, we can get him on. Right, Kev, what's your team?
Right, I'll go with Marshall in goal. I would go with Cooper and who's your something half Slaney?
I was good, Tierney.
Aye, Kieran Tierney, because we need to fit both Robertson and Tierney.
Right.
I think Kieran Tierney can do that. Robo left back. I would do a 4. I quite like the idea of Slaney's 4-3-3, because I think sometimes when we do 4-4, like 1-1, we don't attack enough.
Yeah.
Whereas I think if we've got
One shot we had against Israel at home.
I'm trying to hear your team.
I'd probably go with that, and then I would put Andy Robertson left back. I would go McGinn sitting with McGregor, and you know what, I don't want to copy him, right, but I really like Stuart Armstrong.
Yeah, of course you do.
I think he's versatile.
Did you hear his pre-match news conference, mate? It was like a doctor talking.
Was it? Aye.
He's so clever,
Aye,
man.
St.
Nah, but I
Tails,
don't mind that.
Not that, yeah.
And again, then I would have you would have Forrest. Ryan Fraser, I would have the Ryan Fraser if I could get the Ryan Fraser that was peak Bournemouth levels when he was at the
I was
top
talking
of his
about
game.
just now, but okay, I'll give you Fraser, right?
But if it wasn't Fraser, I'd probably put Christie in there, and I'd have Ollie McBurney up front.
Right, I'm going 3-5-2.
I think you that one side just before you go, and
Yeah.
I think with 3-5-2 with Tierney, I think it suits better. But
Yeah.
I just felt my team would maybe sit in there.
Cooper, McKenna, Tierney, Robertson left wing back, Forrest right wing back, Gilmore sitting, McGinn, McGregor, Armstrong off of McBurney.
Burnley. Wow.
See, I really like Armstrong.
not rocket science,
I
is
think
it?
Armstrong's, he's got everything, that boy.
Yeah, Armstrong. See if you look at Dan Ings' goals last year, mate. Armstrong played off him. He scored 20 goals last year.
I think he's got an engine that he can get about everywhere. He's got great feet, both left, shoots with left foot, shoots with right foot, and I think that he's underrated when it comes to going away with Scotland games. I think he needs to play more.
Yeah.
I don't know why he doesn't get more game time. Sometimes is it the old Celtic Old Firm type thing that they're preferred? I don't know, but and I genuinely believe that McBurney, for all the stick he does get, and he's had a lot of stick from all quarters of the Scottish media, if you feed that guy service, he's going to get you goals. See, if you don't give him service, what do you expect him to do?
Exactly. See the first game, Kev, like Israel, what was there, 2 crosses in the whole game?
Not exactly.
We've got a 6'3" guy in the box, man.
There's an old
Flying it in the
saying,
box.
Si, you're
and then
only as
last
good as-
night they put the ball in the box and Big Dyke sticks it in.
Exactly. You're only as good as the service you get as a striker.
Right, okay. Right, on the topic of Czech Republic playing a backup team, have you ever played in any strange friendlies? I've got one first.
I don't even know if I have, mate. I'll have a wee think as you go, Si.
We, I think I was about 15. I just came through full time at Celtic, and it was start of the season, and we were at Barrowfield one day, and Tommy Burns says, up the road, we're going to play a friendly tonight against a team for the Garngad. Have you been to Garngad?
No.
Oh,
Where is it?
what a place! It's up next to Royston and that.
Oh, right, aye, I've been up there.
So we went
aye,
up to
aye.
open an AstroTurf, mate. It was like thousands, mate. Tricolours out the window. I was like, what is this? The guys we were playing against were, wow, raw geezers, man, like pure want to boot fuck at us. But big Celtic fans. And you know how you usually get like a local paper come up to take pictures? It was a guy for the Digger that turned up to take a bit. No, I'm kidding on. But anyway, so they were nice as any at first, mate. Like they were buzzing to meet us and that, and then we started taking the piss a bit, and mate, before you knew it, it was a pure bloodbath, man. And Tommy played in the game, mate. Tommy Burns played in the game, and I'll never forget, mate, being 15, I came on for like the last 30 minutes. They were all a couple of years older than me. And I'll never forget the fury on Tommy Burns' face at like 55-year-old, because they were trying to smash us, mate, and Tommy was running about trying to do boys, mate.
Story.
But see, this will sum football up now as well. So I came on at centre mid, and Tommy was playing the hole, mate. Played 90 minutes, blowing out his hole, right? Played in the hole, he was outstanding. And I got the ball, and I could remember catching eyes with him, and I thought the pass was just a wee bit too risky. And we were like winning like 8-0 at the time, and I passed it back to the centre half, and he went, "Howsa!" Fucking pass the ball forward into my feet, playing like an old fucking man.
Brilliant.
And an 8-0 game pre-season, mate, and he absolutely lambasted me for passing the ball.
Was that not just tell you?
But
That is actually one of the best stories I've ever heard.
But see, after it, we thought, can't wait to get out of here, man. Tommy's like, every single one of you's up the budgie. We're like, what the fuck's the budgie? Up to the boozer, mate, in the Gad. Sitting there all night, singing songs, fucking drinking. Unbelievable, mate.
That is amazing. What a story.
Imagine that happening now, mate.
That wouldn't happen, but that's more down to Tommy Burns than anything else, because he was the people's champion. He was amazing. We ever heard the Tommy Burns story that's no good?
Nah.
But that could be the best story I've heard in this.
Amazing, up to the Gad, mate. Up to the high flat, mate. The AstroTurf's in the middle of the big high flats.
That's amazing. I'm just trying to think it.
Amazing. We play some raw guys up at Peterhead for friendlies, eh? The pure farmers, mate, and they boot fuck at you. And they're like, and I'm at him, mate, what you doing? He's like, what's it do with you, like? It's not even a foul. I'm like, mate, you just fucking took my leg off, man.
But that's like their big game, man. You're all buzzing for it.
Have you heard them? The ones where you need to go to like local teams in pre-season friendlies?
Playing obviously the Sunderland side pre-season, we would be playing a mixture of like local Sunderland teams and local Newcastle teams. So you can imagine going away to fucking Blythe Spartans in the north of Newcastle with the Sunderland red and white and the fucking, well, you fucking mucking bastards. Fucking going to get it to you. And you're like, oh shit, here we go, man.
I had to ask you. You went away pre-season, tell that story. I heard it on a podcast.
Oh, no.
With Mick McCarthy.
No, it was actually a league game. I don't know who we were playing. We were playing down in London somewhere. And we flew to games.
How good's that, mate? They flew to games.
So we're flying.
Too humble.
I know.
We're flying to a game, and these Newcastle fans we always had to go for Newcastle Airport because that was the nearest airport. So I think these Newcastle fans were fucking.
Did you need to pay for extra baggage?
Extra leg room, cock room too. Right. Anyway, so we were just walking along I think we landed back into Newcastle. And these Newcastle fans started fucking giving us like massive amounts of abuse.
Was it Mick McCarthy they were getting it to?
Mick was the manager, so we're getting it to Mick real tight, and I was like, oh fucking hell, Gaffer's going to go in one here. And the Gaffer was like, aye, whatever, fuck off, you fucking daft cunts. And I was like, oh no, Gaffer's on one, right? I think we maybe been beat, I don't know, he was really angry. And these Newcastle fans started giving it more, and Mick's fucking giving it more, and Ian Evans' assistant's like, oh, right, Gaffer, just calm down, it's all right. He's like, no, I'll fucking calm down. So he's put the bags down. He says, right, Kyler, come on. I said, what the fuck you want me to do, Gaffer? He says, just back me up. And the Gaffer was ready. We were ready to go to town.
Just you and the Gaffer again?
No, there was a couple. I think Gary Breen was there as well, and there was a couple of other ones. Liam Lawrence, hard as fuck. He was ready to go. And Gaffer was just ready to take them on. And I was thinking, oh, this is fucking class, man. Let's go. We're going to have a fight in the middle of Newcastle Airport here with the Gaffer. But I genuinely think the Gaffer could have dealt with it himself. I think he could have battered fuck at the five of them, not a problem. And I'd have just been there to kick them while they were doing, because that's the kind of shite bag I am.
No, that's what he does on here.
Oh,
but no, Mick McCarthy was, he was for me, like you load about Tommy Burns and that. Mick was like that for me.
Yeah.
Because I remember we played Celtic pre-season side. I'd never been to, I'd never met like any Celtic real legends or that. And I remember we played Celtic in a pre-season friendly. And I said to Mick, like, fucking, is there any chance we could get? He says, well, I've got a surprise for the night. And I said, oh, have you, aye? And he invited Billy McNeil into the pre-match dinner, the Friday night dinner before the match. And fucking hell, man, that's Billy McNeil, that's my dad's hero. And it was amazing, you know what I mean? So
you played Celtic in a pre-season friendly?
I think we played them in a pre-season twice. One with Peter Reid, we played them on a Tuesday night. I was up front with Niall Quinn. It was fucking 14 foot of height up front. Pace unbelievable. Going in behind.
Who were you up against?
Oh, I don't know, man. It was a long
What was that, Martin O'Neill team or something?
It would have been a Martin. It would probably have been, that would have been Peter Reid, so 2002, 2001, 2002.
Yeah.
And then we played Celtic. I don't know if we actually did play Celtic. I think we were in I think we might have played another Glasgow team. I can't remember who it was. It wasn't the Rangers. I know it wasn't the Rangers. But Billy McNeil came. And it was like, fucking hell, man, that's Billy McNeil, Celtic legend, first ever Scottish guy to fucking lift the European Cup and stuff. You're like...
Did you ever see Mick McCarthy fight him, day?
No, we used to do, always talked about pre-season, we used to do boxing, Slaney. And we used to fucking like fight and that, and he loved boxing. So see if you come in pre-season overweight, he would in the gym and he would box me every morning. So he used to do this drill, we had like 12 punch bags up. and you would just punch him like 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off with sit-ups, or you would hold the bag. So I was going round and I was fucking quite cocky and confident at the time. So I thought, I'm going to fucking clip him and I'm going to pretend to miss the bag, I'm going to clip the gaffer. So I'm going at boom, 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 boom. I just went at and like fucking hooked him, right? The fuck you doing? So he came for me, right? And I was like, Gaff, I was only joking. He's pure fucking, like, pure laying into me.
What's this?
It's my stress ball.
Who's gave you that?
Psychologist.
Has he?
Just gives me when I'm feeling really down. And about to have a breakdown. And you know.
He
Is that the wee guy off of Toy Story?
Aye. And the last place that need me to have a breakdown is Holland. It's the last people that need me to have a breakdown again.
Why?
They don't need me there again.
No, they need the industry back up and running, mate. We need you over there.
Absolutely right.
Right, transfer window, lads. Aidan McGeady and Charlie Mulgrew could be on the move, two former guests, friends of the show.
Well, what I will say is straight away, I think it's pivotal. I think it's so important that Celtic go out and sign Charlie Mulgrew. Mate, seriously. Mate, seriously, like, and listen, he's your mate and all that, and we love him to bits, but that's nothing to do with it. We don't say that about some other mates, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
When you want him anywhere near.
Who, like?
Lewis Tosney, Stephen Lawless, that is my mate and mine. But no, Big Charlie, I think the league will be won, and I know the Celtic Rangers have slipped up one seats this year. I think the league will be won in Old Firms this year, and who better than a guy like Charlie McGrew?
Been there, done it.
Been there, done it. He's, you know what he's like in here. And the boys absolutely love him. I think they must do it. They must, like.
If you're gonna have a big ugly centre half, Duffy, you need a good looking.
Exactly,
ball player next to him.
exactly. And if it's a free at the back, he can play. So I've just clocked you looking up here a wee bit. And if he plays left back, he can play left back. He can play in midfield. I think he's a must show for Celtic. Get the chequebook out and do it.
The only thing is, so did you see his brown suit jacket doing the football the other night? Worst I've seen
it
on
changes a wee bit.
What they made the transplant is magnificent.
When he was standing talking, he was going at and then he kept going at. And this guy kept going. It's like, fucking hell, Charlie. You're here.
20 grand to me, you would spend it for your hair.
That's you're kidding me on with that.
We're doing it. It's not a transplant. People have went for it for you. We've fully done. Everyone thought it was a transplant. It's natural, mate.
I was fucking texting him to find out where he got it for, because I was saving up the lot. I was going for it.
That's looking well, mate.
It's looking well. The boys at Surgeon Barbers, there's a wee plug for his boys.
See when you like do the dustpan and brush in the kitchen, and you look at what you've got. That's what it looks like.
Every time I go to the fucking shower and unblock the fucking drain because it's clogging my hair.
What about McGeady? Hibs, Jack Ross, big fan, obviously.
Would McGeady go to Hibs?
I don't know, mate. I think he probably would. It all depends what happens at Sunderland, but I think he would go back to Celtic as well.
What about McGeady with Jack Ross at Sunderland? Did they get on okay there?
Yeah, they got a mill.
Aye, so that could be a good move. But
Did
then
you
again,
see Aidan had a wee pop at me?
I did. I met him up in Kelvin Grove Park.
He's going to come on. He's going to come on.
Is he? He wasn't happy that Simon wasn't getting back to him about coming on the podcast.
That's a lie anyway.
Then he said he wasn't happy that that fucking, I think he said something along the lines of that Slaney thinks he's fucking funny. Well, I'll shut him up when I come on the podcast because I've got some stories about him. Oh. So I was like, right, okay.
Yeah, bring it on.
Wow, love that for you. Love that for you. Aberdeen, off to a great start.
Aye.
And then they need, I think they've got a good squad, I think they've probably got the best squad outside I tipped Hibs, but the more I look at it, I think Aberdeen will.
I think after the Hibs game last week, Hibs and Aberdeen when they played each other, I think that kind of told the story of how the season's going to pan out. And fair play to Aberdeen, because the COVID thing at the beginning of the season wasn't ideal, but they clearly just got their heads down, put it behind themselves and moved on and got some good results.
They can boogie.
They can boogie, fucking hell, they can boogie.
Mate, I heard that Quaver Toes was doing the commentary genuinely, right? It was Kane and McInnes's subs.
Quavers, was he?
What on?
Mate, no joke.
On that Aberdeen TV?
Aberdeen DVD, that fucking Aberdeen DVD I just said. Oh mate, I'm having a shocker.
No, you're doing great.
No, Aberdeen TV, and supposedly McInnes made a few subs and he's like, what's he doing there?
I love that. We need to get Quaver Toes on, don't we?
I think Big Quaver Toe will come on though.
Nah.
I think he will.
I think he'll come on dressed as Boogie.
Imagine we could get him to do the video.
Oh, we could be the three friends that he pretends to neck on with.
Yeah. Aye. The only thing is you'll do it back, innit?
It's only pretends, really.
Stephen Robinson, Motherwell, who are going through a wee bit of a hard time. He says he won't see any of the Turnbull money as it's for long-term development of the club. He needs to get some of that, didn't he? I think half it's going to David Turnbull's sponsor Silence that he had on the podcast.
It's brilliant for Miller to do that for him.
What is it, £1 million they're getting?
£1 million because it was that good. So, no, listen, I don't think they need players.
Polworth will just come in for Turnbull. Polworth's a good player. I like Polworth.
Brilliant.
I think Motherwell are in that position, Si. Motherwell, they need to get a win.
Yeah. I think they need a striker though. They need to get a striker.
Possibly. Somebody a bit
Tony
more
Watt.
ruthless.
Wee chance for Tony maybe.
But why, if Tony Watt's not been playing, why is he not been playing? They're not scoring goals, so why is he not getting more of an opportunity? Is he not doing enough in training, or is he? I don't know.
I think he's changed, but see, looking at Tony Watt,
He's in good nick, isn't he?
He's in good nick, and he's proper like professional now.
I think he just needs a break.
It's not as if he wasn't ever, but I think he was a young boy and whatever. But now I think he is. So I don't know. I think he should be. He'll get his wee chance now.
I think Stevie Robins, I think he feels a wee bit of pressure side, to be honest, because some of his post-match interviews and they've been filling me with confidence. But like I say, I think if he can get a good win, which he got in the European tie, but then obviously they were playing Celtic the week after, weren't they? Aye, so that didn't help. But they'll probably now get a run of games where they're games that they could possibly win. If they can get a few wins under the belt, they'll still start climbing up the table. They've only got 2 points, but I think sixth place has only got like 5 points. So it's not as if it's a big deal now, but we thought that at Hearts last year, and look what happened to them. But no, I think Motherwell will be okay. They just need to get a win and get going.
Did you play the Barraclough?
No, but I listened to him last night.
Got beat 7, didn't they?
He looks like a joke figure, that guy, doesn't he?
Oh, right. Aaron Hickey looks to be off to Bologna. Good move for development. Would you like to see him stay in Britain, Scotland?
Me personally, Slaney, I think he would been better staying here.
Right, and going to who, like a Celtic or something?
No, I think sometimes.
But where else is bigger than Hearts in Scotland?
No, there probably isn't, but I just think I'd like to see him play. Is he going to go to Bologna and play every week? If he does, then fair enough, fair dues, great move. Hopefully his development comes on and we see him in the future in Scotland strips and things like that. But he is young, so when you're young, Si, you know what clubs are like. They can afford to buy in these young players because they're buying them as potential.
I like the fact.
Happy with Hickey?
Aye.
Going to Bologna?
Listen, it's brilliant going abroad. For a young Scottish boy. It really is. Do you know what I mean, Si? No, listen, I really do think so. I think it's a good move for him. I always love to see your boys going away. It works for some, doesn't work for others, as you know. And no, listen, I'm really, really excited to watch him out there. Yeah. How about you, Si?
He was talking about going to Bayern Munich, though, wasn't there?
I don't get that.
Why not?
Fonzo Davis is there, isn't he?
Yeah.
I don't know.
But it's Bayern Munich to Bologna, so regardless of whatever European side it is, I think the experience side, it's now up to him as an individual. So forget what he's done up to this point. He's just now got to go over there, learn the language, adapt himself quite quickly, do what Kieran Tierney did, don't become homesick, take a friend with you, a couple of friends with you. Slaney's obviously, we'll happily go with him.
Yeah.
And try and just get yourself into the culture side and relax yourself and just continue to learn, and hopefully he'll have a successful career over there and see what the future holds for him. But he's young and he's had some like great times at Hearts in his short time he's been there. So no, I think it's a good move. Sometimes it's hard going away when you're young. It's really hard, you know what I mean? You've done it yourself, Si, when you went away to Swindon. It's not easy settling away somewhere else.
I loved it.
I know you loved it, but I hate it.
I know what you mean. Right, Rangers, Barisic linked with Leeds, Kent linked with Leeds. The bids that they're putting in for the Scottish players are a disgrace, aren't they?
Aye.
Leeds bid 25 million quid for the Brighton left back, and I think they bid pennies for Barisic.
Why is that?
The Croatian left back. I don't know. They just think they can.
But as you said, he's playing with Croatia, so it's disrespectful, isn't it? It really is. It annoys me that. But I think guys like Barisic, I don't know. I think Kent seems to me as if he's.
He wants to stay at Rangers.
He wants to stay, which I like, because before that Rangers move, it didn't really work for him anywhere else. So it's important for his development to keep going the way he's gone. But sometimes you like guys like Barisic, that their whole thing is to come here to get the move to. So I don't know what his personality's like, but I do believe maybe he might go down south. I don't know the way he's like, but
that's a good point.
That's a good point. No,
fair play to Kent, because his agent will probably be telling Kent that he could double his money, he can get moved to English Premiership, and he wants to stay and repay Rangers, which.
But I think it's important for Kent.
It's a dying breed, isn't it?
Because I think he could go down there and get lost again. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's doing so well now, so I think it's important he stays.
I think the more Kent continues to perform the way he has started this season, and then when Rangers hopefully they get a good run in the Europa League and he starts doing it on that stage, if he have a good season here again and do it on the European stage, you'll be bigger clubs than Leeds chasing you at the end of the season. Do you know what I mean? Although Leeds are a big club, I mean in terms of you might have a top 6 maybe looking at you because he's still a young guy, and he looks full of confidence on his side. Like he's really finding his feet there at Rangers. I know a couple of weeks back I said that fucking, I think somebody's gave me abuse for it, saying that Martin Boyle were a good replacement. I didn't mean that. I meant that if they sold Kent, Martin Boyle would be a cheap alternative to see them through.
Yeah.
But Ryan Kent for me, no, I think it's a respect to him that he's wanting to stay with Rangers and continue his development there.
Shane Duffy, we've already spoke about, great signing for Celtic. For me, that's up there with the Fraser Forster signing last year. I think Shane Duffy's spoke to Eden last night and says that he's the best header the boys ever seen.
Has he?
Exactly what Celtic needed. Have you spoke about iron that run up the pitch and score? Shane Duffy will not do that. He's in there to defend, he wants clean sheets. That's exactly for me what. And do you know another thing? How good did El Hamed look playing centre half for Israel against Scotland? I thought he head and shoulders, eh?
But he for me,
he looks a centre half to me.
Aye, but he's too hot and cold. 1 week he'll be fucking brilliant, and 1 week he'll be like all over the place. I don't know. So I just with Shane Duffy first and foremost. If they keep Ayer and they keep Julian during this transfer window, which I don't think, I think maybe one.
Ayer might go.
I think Ayer might go. But if the two of them do stay, maybe they'll fucking learn a thing or two maybe off Shane Duffy and how to defend properly, because it's alright looking the part, but fucking a defender's job is to defend. And Shane Duffy for me just looks at that big horrible fucking centre half. When you go into the turn you think, oh for fuck's sake am I playing against him today?
I love it.
That's why Andy Halliday's not here.
Hide under his bed, innit? Hide under his Rangers bed.
He's
I
scared.
love Andy to sign with a Scottish team and they two come up against each other.
Aye. I'd like Andy to maybe sign me like fucking Dundee United.
Mate, I heard Andy can go for it.
Have you? Huh?
That's why I never say it when he's on. Seriously.
Who told you?
Can't say too
Who's
much.
he going with midgets?
No, he was. I have heard that as well.
Can he? Aye.
Genuinely, aye. That's why I never really say much. So you'll hear me sticking up for Rangers all the time when he's on.
Right, there's a new horny winger in town.
Is there?
Mason Greenwood. He's taking your title, mate.
Magic.
Him and Foden sneaking women into the team hotel in Iceland, breaking COVID guidelines. Is that up there with ball and goalie?
With they two, Si, they've listened to me. 2 up the room. Played 2 up.
2 up.
What's the meaning of that?
2 up to the room.
No, 2 up the room. 2 on the pitch. Si, what are they thinking? They have.
It's good that they're listening to you, isn't it? They're trying to take your advice on
and
it.
I do like that, but that's what I need to be careful what I'm saying on here.
You're affecting everyone.
Because they went with the 2 up the room. And I certainly, I was talking about the pitch, 2 in the pitch, but if I was up in the room, why not 4 up in the room?
Without naming any names, but there used to be all sorts going on in hotels.
I remember
an unnamed player.
I don't know, but we were in a hotel and remember I played football for a long period of time, so it's hard to guess what team I'm talking about. Do you know what I mean? So don't try put any things on it. At 10 o'clock Saturday night, game was on a Sunday, staying about a hotel. A bird walks in the hotel, all dolled up. The manager and assistant are in the bar. They're like, right away, we know where she's gone, she's got to somebody's room. So the manager says to the assistant, go and follow her up the lift. So the assistant, I'm fucking desperate to see the names in there.
No, I don't know.
No, of course not. The assistant follows her up the room, right to the boys' room. That was it. Him.
What? So when the player opened the door, the assistant and the women were standing there.
Wow. And straight to him.
What, the guy or the player?
Not the player get sent home, aye.
Did they? Kev, any?
Nah, I couldn't possibly tell you some of them, but when I was with the Scotland 21 team, we had a lot of shenanigans. Whether it be,
I don't think that'll happen then.
We used to phone the Daily Sport hotlines on the bus back for away games.
Aye.
Did you ever do that? Aye.
We used to do it at the time.
Oh, I loved that. I remember doing that, phoning Babe Station up. Do you remember that? No?
We used to do that as well.
Amazing. Used to see
Do you remember that you've been on Sky Sports?
Aye.
We used to phone that and slaughter like Ray Parlour and sit in the middle, get cut off straight away.
Oh, did you? Do you remember the one where somebody? Do you remember Jim Dalehunt? I think he was on. Was it Off the Ball he done with Tam Cowan? Was he on that?
You've done something like
somebody phoned him out. Jim, you're a ball bag, mate. Right on live. Mate, it was on live and everybody heard it. Oh, it was brilliant.
See, Morton boys. Do you know that Dean Keenan that we talk about?
Aye.
They used to be on the bus back for games, and he would phone up the scoreboard and that and pretend to be somebody else.
Did he?
Boys used to do that as well.
Brilliant. I think Snoddy's a man for all that, isn't he?
Right, Spurs documentary, lads. Have you watched it? Mourinho is a hero, man.
Mourinho is...
My dog died. If you think I'm in a shit mood with you, it's not because because my dog died.
I mean, what a legend, eh?
He's a hero, man. He's not like I thought he'd be at all,
No, I thought he was doing pure arrogant, but he's
a hero,
he pure loves all the boys, doesn't he? But see, do you know what, mate? It's really... See, the Spurs boys, is there any chance of getting a bit of life?
No personality, mate.
What about
See
Eric
him, I
Dyer?
would be all over him, man.
What about Eric Dyer? I pull him on every single night, put me to sleep. I swear to God.
Big Dyer,
I've not slept for 10 years and now I'm fucking sleeping like a baby because
Do you think that most Premier League clubs are like Spurs? I think that's the way football's become.
Definitely.
Aye.
But what about Dele Alli going like that? Do you put the water on the on your
Mate,
toothbrush?
that's what made... That was the banter that made it into that.
And then he's like,
not
what was your favourite chocolate bars? Do you know what I mean? What's he doing? I know he's out loud, have you been asking?
Do you know what was funny about me? Sums fit up just now when the assistant came in and went, Sissoko's one of the main characters in the dressing room, and Mourinho went, oh, for fuck's sake. You know, you've got problems straight away, big Sissoko.
Mate, the boy, Danny Rose, what about his?
What about that?
Mate, what
Asking where the chairman was?
Yeah, seriously, I shouldn't swear like that, but that was out of order. See, listen, I like what. See this day and
I'll
age.
just stay at home, gaffer.
I know.
Just,
Go and do it then.
no, you just come in and do your work and try and get in the team. See if you were any good and you were brilliant, you wouldn't be sitting having this conversation.
I respect that because I hate the modern. They phone their agent, go and speak to him. I like that he's went in, but the way he's done it, he's sitting with his fucking earphones.
Earphone in.
I know, honestly. Mate, what was he doing?
But he says he was listening to you on the podcast.
Aye. He loved it supposedly. So sorry, but anyway, but what he was doing, it was so disrespectful. Mate, Mourinho dealt with that so well, to be fair, and he could have dealt with it a lot worse.
Yeah.
But nah.
Like if the camera wasn't there, he would have dealt with it differently.
Aye.
Have you seen the one with Danny Rose?
Danny Rose had a point. I can understand why he was in arguing, but at what point do you think it's okay to bring the fucking chairman into the equation? Chairman doesn't pick the fucking team. It's Mourinho.
He's like, I'm just going to go and see
He's going to go and see Daniel. What the fuck's Daniel going to do? All right, by the way, Josie, I've gave you the job as a manager. I want you to pick fucking Danny Rose. Fuck off. No,
Daniel Levy does seem to get involved quite a bit in it.
I know,
I've never been at a club where a chairman's sitting at lunch every day. I don't know.
Did you ever actually speak to any of your chairman you've ever...
No, never.
Mate, I don't ever spoke to fucking
I
any
get all
chairman.
the time, aye.
The chairman at Sunderland didn't even know who
He
we
asked me
were.
to cancel my contract all the time.
What about Harry Kane's pre-match speeches?
Harry's fucking...
He needs to leave
Marvel's
talking to somebody else and just stick to the football, doesn't he?
It just feels like he's just trying to get as much swear words in as he can.
Yeah.
And then how gives the man Mourinho went, I'm going to do it today.
Who Mourinho?
Oh, it's amazing,
His
man.
was better. But you know what? I get feel like they're top level, right? But they didn't do anything that you'd think, oh wow, that's amazing.
No.
Do you know what I mean? See if you want to be a manager or a coach, and you look at it, you think, why can I not do that?
That's football in general, Simon.
It's just so simple. He keeps everything simple, Mourinho.
I've learned that from starting today coaching. What I'm coaching the kids is just basic fucking drills. It's nothing fancy. It's nothing out of this world. And all I'm doing is when I'm doing a drill or an exercise, and I'm just explaining them why they do it, what's the reasons, and that's all the coaches are doing. It's just giving them the advice that they need. It's not as if they're giving this wow fucking formula that's going to make them unbelievable footballers. It's all up to the individual to be the awesome footballer.
Yeah.
The coaches are just to guide you and help you and encourage you. But no, it's a fucking great insight. Because like you say, Si, why could that not be any of us?
Here's a plate of young British coaches, Scottish coaches. Not once has Mourinho said transition, break the lines, first contact, scanning. Not once has he used a big fancy word. With top players, it's simple. This is what I want you to do.
Right.
Be brave, go and play.
But this is the modern coach thinks, and I'm saying modern coach, it's YouTube coaches and guys that are where your grassroots guys will go into YouTube and they'll type in coaching drills for under 9s, coaching drills for under 12s, and then you've got fucking, at night, dinner drill night, let's give do this, we do this, we do this. So the guy up here copies it and it's a lot of shit because it's no relevant to what we're doing. Let's just work on your touch. Let's work on some good passing drills. Because see if you can't control the ball, you can't pass the ball, forget about even trying to play fucking football. Let's get confident at these. Once you're confident with these, then we can take it to the next level. That's just football. But too many people try to complicate things. It's just fucking basic. I suppose I know a famous chairman or manager said that too many educates complicate a simple game or whatever.
It's a simple game complicated by idiots.
But I feel in close friends of mine who are getting brainwashed with it.
Aye. Well, you're probably right, Slaney.
Mate, seriously, like the best guys on the planet, John McGrew. No, I love my child, but I think some of these guys are getting brainwashed with it, and I imagine maybe if you were in that environment, that would happen to you. But
But see these big work, like, see especially with kids, whose benefit is that for? Because kids are baffled.
There's a lot of
See, when you speak to them like that, they're absolutely baffled, eh?
Mate, when I did my UEFA B licence, right, there was 90 people in the course, and I would say there was 21 like current or ex-footballers, and the rest were all just guys obviously trying to get their badges working it the other way. And I remember you get put into certain groups of people, and we had this one guy, so we're doing a drill, and then he kept shouting, recycle it. I'm fucking turned to Big Waldo. I was like, what the fuck is he talking about recycling? What the fuck are we recycling? And I was like, so he's picked that word up for somewhere, then he'll go away and coach somewhere else and pass that word on. And before you know it, recycle is a fucking word in football. When recycle just means that, like, that's a cereal finish, stick that in the fucking recycling bin. What's that got to do with football? I'm fucking on, man. See,
You've been outstanding today.
The only thing about that, last thing about the Spurs document is, like you've mentioned him, Dele Alli.
Mate,
He just laughed at everything.
See if somebody went like to me, as a football player, when somebody questions your attitude, it is the worst.
Yeah.
Anything. Like honestly, Mourinho saying about his attitude, he's just sitting laughing.
Laughing, I know.
See even his body language, just sitting laid back. And him, the other boy who's the right back, Aurier. He just looks like he's fucking raging all the time, doesn't he? But mate, like that Dele Alli, mate, honest, like God, did you feel like if anybody questioned your attitude?
You would
that
be devastated. Yeah.
Oh, if any of the first team players ever pulled you to the side and said, look, the fuck do you think you're doing?
We used to get it all the
Your
time.
fucking heart sank, by the way. But you actually went away and questioned yourself and thought, right, okay, how can I be better?
I remember we were doing like tricks and that at the gym one day. I think it was like Aidan and all that, doing loads of tricks at the gym, and Lenny just walked over and I said, mate, do you know what my best trick is? Being bang average and being a fucking millionaire. Put that ball away and get the gym done.
How good is that?
That's it, mate. Sums it up, doesn't it?
It's football is, I don't know, it's as if now you're not allowed to have a go personally at your teammates because of the fear of actually hurting their feelings.
Yeah.
I'm going to report you to the PFA because you shouted at me. Fuck off.
But see, like Dele Alli, he should be scared of Mourinho, but he clearly isn't.
No.
See, I think that's the agent's an honour. See if your manager says something to your own agent, right, get me out of here.
Get me out of here,
I know. You deal with it.
Maybe you're dinosaurs too, Jake, man.
No, we're no dinosaurs, Si. We just brought up in a different era, a different environment.
We just caned everyone. We just caned the Spurs.
Us three that had
the worst one was...
I played at the Garngard, mate, and I'm caning guys who playing the Spurs.
I retired at 21, and my best career was at Clyde. Mate, and see... and
you left in a transit van and we just let him Dele Alli for laughing.
But mate, the worst one was last week, and we didn't talk about it. We were caning Barca.
No, I was caning PK. I was caning PK, fuck it.
Mate, that could be the worst shot of the show. I need to say, PK's...
I don't know what I was saying. Sometimes I just open my mouth and it just goes. And
imagine Messi and that sitting there listening to that.
Imagine PK listening to that.
Well, to be fair, Messi probably just said, look, I was going to leave because Big Kev says that you're fucking pish.
Lads.
But that's why we're good, because we don't take it too serious, Si.
Correct. Thanks very much, boys.
Appreciate it.